to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George.
Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists, where this month we begin holidays. I cannot wait. We are talking some special Christmas movies every Friday this month, and we are kicking it off with It's a Wonderful Life. It premiered in New York on December 20th, 1946, with a screenplay by Francis Goodrich, Albert Hackett, and Frank Capra, based on the story by Philip Van Doren Stern, and directed by Frank Capra. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. We threw it back big time, nearly 80 years for this first edition to holidays. How'd you feel? It was a first viewing, no?
Yes, first time ever getting around to it. But definitely, it's one I've heard of. It's not like gone under the radar.
Right.
I've known this movie has existed, but surprisingly, yeah, the plot or what actually occurred. I just knew it was a Christmas time movie classic is kind of all that I've ever known of the movie. And then we texted earlier about how you said there was going to be some moments whenever I'd be like, oh, this is where that's from,
right?
And I absolutely love movies like this, and it did happen. I think 2 or 3 times. Actually,
yeah,
there were two it was pretty iconic shots.
I was like, at least every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that
yes.
I was like, that one is. It's seeped in pretty deeply into pop culture generally. So that was the one.
Is this the origin of this? No way. Like, this isn't like an old thing or a belief that like a bell ringing, or is this like?
I'm pretty sure this is the famed movie quote version of it. Now, wow. I don't know if this is the origin of that idea.
Mm-hmm. Because. Yeah, I guess I was wondering, this is like post-war, and there was this weird thing that I learned. I haven't dove in too deeply into it, but apparently this was well before. I guess like all of the bells and church towers were like removed, and I don't know when that happened or something like that, but it was, the bells were removed, and I don't know why I thought it was close to World War II or something, but I think it was well before then. But this weird fascination with bells, I don't know. Yeah, I was wondering that's crazy if it is like
it is original here. To It's a Wonderful Life.
Dang! Wow. Okay. But yeah, it is always weird to think of like 1946. This is right after the war. Everyone's freaking, I don't know, on edge of a nuclear like, I don't know, that's just a fear in the back of everyone's mind. Gonna need a nice feel good guardian angel movie, because I wonder, like, this is 46, is it still much in the time of men aren't allowed to be vulnerable, or is
I mean, yeah, I mean the 40, like, this is kind of an insane step to take in 1946, depicting one of what was at the time one of the world's biggest movie stars in James Stewart. Taking him and putting him in a role where he's like considering suicide is kind of wild, and they handle it with a certain delicacy that you wouldn't really anticipate. I think you can tell based off other dude characters in this movie, like the alternate versions, the alternate version of the people he'd previously impacted, being real hard-nosed and smash-mouth and ready to fight, is a completely different. It's definitely more period accurate as far as the way dudes behaved. Because I mean, like, there are parts in the movie where Jimmy Stewart even gets to that point, not violent or anything like that, but he comes home from work and he yells at everybody because he's disappointed with the way his life is, with the way he can't provide, the way he's failing to provide. And it's actually kind of wild that this comes the week after we do the live comm on Fantastic Mr. Fox, Because you could definitely make the argument that Mr. Fox is motivated by a lot of the same self loathing a little bit as Jimmy Stewart's character here as George Bailey. The same shortcomings, self-perceived shortcomings. He decides to go ahead and take matters into his own hands. One decides to rob a bunch of farmers for chickens. One decides, hey, maybe I'll kill myself.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, sheesh. Yeah. Not the. So, like, still a bright-ish movie. Like, it is a happy, feel-good movie, but the subject matter is
it takes
surprisingly so much darker than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I didn't know truly what to expect, but a man contemplating suicide was not, I guess, at top of the list.
Right.
But it came off like I feel. It is feel good at the end. Like, I don't know. It does. 100%. You need the ending there. Like, I didn't know
it's a massive payoff. Happen.
Yeah. So there is a time where you're like, oh fuck, man, this is damn. This is in the feels and not a zone I was expecting. And then it is Christmas. All of Christmas Day. To go to work still on Christmas, everything. And then at the beginning to see the children working. Like dropped off at work and they're. Literally,
and they're like fucking 11.
Like that's insane. And bro was actually saved a life, and poor pharmacist. I mean, his son died, but I mean,
his brother's life and that kid's life. That's right. Yeah, he.
What? Yeah, what's up with the poison bottle? What use does why is that in a pharmacy, bro? Like, why do they even have that bot? No, but that was a really cool just setup.
Mister, I swear, Mr. Gower, I won't tell no one.
Yeah, I love old timey voices. Always, like I think it's so funny that like we used to sound like this. Have you ever seen the video that was like white people stopped sounding cool the second Jackie Robinson hit a home run?
Damn, yes. Yeah, it was like, oh, fuck. It's like, damn, it's over.
The video's like, well, we got Jackie Robinson coming to the plate, and fuck, he hit it out. And God damn it. Yep, it's gone.
Damn it. Fuck. It's just, it wasn't even I used to think it was just the microphones, had a weird effect.
It's not just a filter.
It is truly they had a radio
sounded
voice.
Different. Like this little kid who's like, oh, I didn't know, Mr. Gower. I won't say nothing, Mr. Gower, I promise. It's so funny because it's also like Bedford Falls vaguely takes place, I would guess, around New York, not in New York, obviously, because going to New York is like the big city. We need to go that way. But I don't perceive it to be that far away. Buffalo isn't that far away. So like, it's funny that a lot of people almost come off as Southern. When that's not the case.
A weird mashup of cultures here. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
I mean, and Jimmy Stewart's voice is just iconic unto itself. Like that's this is actually the second Jimmy Stewart movie we've ever covered. Only the first episode that'll actually see the light of day, as we have previously discussed the Philadelphia Story.
No!
With Cary Grant and Katharine Hepburn.
Oh, it's tragic. Oh, no. The forgotten episode, the lost to what? The
lost episodes. Well, we recorded them thinking we were going to come back to... We were just going to stock up on Cinema Surprise episodes, and then we were going to be able to drop them one day. But then we let them sit for so long that I guess we cleaned up hard drives. We did all that good stuff. So for those who don't know, we have lost episodes on the Philadelphia Story, The Last Picture Show, and E.T. So three really, really great movies. But yeah, it is what it is.
Sad world. Yeah. But man, yeah, okay. I didn't think that I had another James, but no, I definitely do have another under my belt.
Incredible actor. Incredible actor. Man, close collaborator with Hitchcock as well. Did Vertigo, and Rear Window, and The Man Who Knew Too Much. It's just an incredible, a ton of Westerns, an incredible filmography for an incredible actor. And this is probably the feather in the cap on Jimmy Stewart's career. It's just a really, really towering achievement. I just buckets of tears, dude. Last night, like Emily came back from doing like her skincare routine, and I'm just like wet, you know, like I'm damp because I've been crying. I'm like, she didn't have her glasses on, so all she hears is me going, and then she puts her glasses on. And she's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" My God, it's a wonderful life.
And then Lynch,
I love it,
too, reacting to him,
Yeah.
like the fact that
Incredible.
James Stewart he actually went to fight in the war, like in real life, like bro was actually in
was
the,
actually
so like,
in World War
but
II.
then portrayed in the movie as the one that didn't, that state, you know, is like is crazy. So like even there's this time where like he's kind of the one just doing everything behind the scenes, but his brother and everything's getting all the honor, all the fame kind of
The
out
glory,
of it, everything. And then like even in real life, bro went to go fight in the war. And then I don't think it was a knock at James Stewart specific, but it was, to learn that like beyond the screen, that's great. I mean, bro just did it all. I mean, to come back after the war and to do this is actually nuts. To just.
Well, there's just such a heaviness. There's such a heaviness to his portrayal of George Bailey, like kind of just the weight of reality. That's one of my favorite things about the movie is that it's not shy about depicting kind of what It's a Wonderful Life, but like this is a really normal life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it is that it's not an abnormal. It's not something that seems totally fictional, you know, like, most people lead lives like this, you know. Now, obviously, George Bailey is an exceptionally good man, which is kind of the thing that would set George Bailey apart. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are in a position to help a lot of people and then receive that help back one day. But even so, I love that portrayal of George Bailey. Just, you know, is that as long as I have, you have, you know, like if I've got the means, you've got the means, and I'm going to be there and I'm going to help and I'm going to do everything I can to protect my people and help my people, and protect my people from this predatory fucking capitalist who's going to ruin your life the first chance he gets.
Yeah, it's so nice that it's all just round up into one man. You know, it's very easy to just point the finger at evil presence, but it's like like crazy. You know, a timeless story of just the top 1% just buying everything up. They own absolutely everything, and there's crazy
1946, baby. Yep, 1946.
Yeah. A crazy double viewing here of It's a Wonderful Life and then going to a Peaks episode where we kind of hear the same thing of they own the morgues, they own the fucking know everything, like even after you're dead, you know, they own
the capital of death.
and so back in post-war times and still today, we're still fighting the same thing, but then he's freaking building homes for people, you know, to live in, and then he gives them, you know, bread and then sauce and wine, like the little ritual they kind of do to let people into their house, and it's all like
bread so that you may
community
never be
gathering.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, like the People's Revolution. It's always a feel good element in a movie to have, you know, whenever the people can bind together that was a really awesome element to the movie, like he's
one of my favorite things is it's not it's revolutionary in its own regard, but I appreciate that they depict the community as very exceedingly normal people. Like again, they're not going to go rally against Potter because Potter has a monopoly on things. Like he is the powers that be. So like whenever it comes to fighting him, the only way they can do that is by helping each other instead of going to him for it. So whenever they come to whenever they come to his house at the end of the movie, oh my God, does that just fucking wallop me? And it's more because George Bailey is one of my favorite characters ever. I see a lot of people I love in George Bailey. You know, I see my dad in George Bailey. I see me in George Bailey. I see a lot of my friends in George Bailey. Like, it's just he's a really normal guy. He's a really normal, good dude. And that the pressure he places upon himself to be more, you know, he had higher aspirations than this. He had bigger plans. He had different ideas. And this feeling like he didn't settle for this. He wasn't worthy of more, you know, like he feels like he doesn't feel like he's settled. He feels like he wasn't capable of achieving more. So he doesn't feel like it was on his terms either. And then kind of getting that put into perspective for him and realizing, you know, you're richer than any man with money, you know, like, you have an absurd amount of love in your life. His wife, who never once in the movie complains about their station, is, you know, an absolute saint. I love Donna Reed, portraying Mary. But still, you know, if you want the moon, I'll give you the moon. I'll lasso the moon for you. I'll lasso it right down. I'll do this for you. I'll do that for you. And then feeling like you can't do that. I mean, that sucks, you know, no matter who you are, no matter what beliefs you hold. If you thought at some point in your life, I'm going to be able to give the people I love everything they want, and then you realize you get hit with the reality that you are not capable of doing that. It's tough. And George Bailey, I mean, that payoff at the end, whenever everyone comes and he's just smiling and he doesn't even have anything to say. He can't say anything. It's just like everyone keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming, and like he realizes how rich he is. It's beautiful. I love that moment.
Yeah, it's not monetary. Like I love that it is. Everyone is coming together to give him $8,000. You know, it is a money thing at the end of the day that sadly is like getting in between a family. You know, being able to be just to put food on the table and all these things,
right.
But like it isn't about the money. Like everyone, like I love how it is just literally all thrown on the table. It's just a fat stack of just piling on. But like it is more of everyone coming together, and like the fate. He doesn't care about how much anyone is leaving. Like there isn't. It doesn't really matter. It is just like, oh my God, you're here. Like,
I mean, when the depression hits, you know, and that one guy's like, I've got $232. He's like, okay, fine, and then someone's like 20, and he's like, now we're talking, thank you. And then someone's like, $17.50. He's like, you're a fucking saint. Yes. I love you. You know, like that's beautiful stuff. And the fact that in that moment, this guy who held it down for them, they're ready to hold it down for him. Like I love how it depicts community in such a perfect way. In that sense, I think that because it's one thing to be like, I don't know, if he had to go to Potter or something like that, like it's a completely different thing than whenever everybody shows up and they are willfully like, we love you, you know, we would do anything for you because you've done everything for us. He's just, that's why I'm like, I can't. George Bailey is an all-time protagonist for me, genuinely, and Mary an all-time second lead, as it were.
Yeah, she's the one to initially be like, "Hey, we got money." She's the one to start handing out all that cash. Like he, I feel like he wanted to, or like, you know,
he wasn't going to,
but he wasn't going to offer. Mary. Yeah. And then right whenever she did, he was just like, "Oh my God, you're like."
He was like,
"This is why I married
like,
you."
That,
or like,
that's my wife right there. You know, like, and that moment hits like a truck too. Like, here's the thing: is I don't know. You cried during this, I assume. Am I right?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's
okay. I was like, you're about as empathetic a movie viewer as I am. When does that start for you?
Let's see.
In this first viewing.
Yeah, I mean, in that moment, I remember there was like every time the community kind of came together, like, right, even though it was negative at first of them, like, no, I need my money, but then like gets up, kind of gives
there we
gives
go.
his speeches. Whenever he defends his father in the boardroom, like, and he just goes off on the board. Like, there was even a well up there. But then, like, whenever, I mean, the end is the
the end. The tears are fucking flowing.
Very,
like,
very emotional.
Yes,
it's not just a well up.
I mean, the entire time, like, from the moment he re-enters reality, I'm crying the rest of the movie. Like, it's
yes,
he's like,
he sees his car.
Mary,
yes, it's like every little moment is like.
And David Lynch in that masterclass video pointed out, he's like, there's this moment at some point when Jimmy Stewart yells Mary, and it just like comes from his soul. I knew exactly which one he was talking about, because it's after he comes back into reality and he's running down the street looking for her, and he's like, Mary, 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 and he's just running, and he yells Merry Christmas, all that stuff. Like, he's just, dude, it's beautiful. And I'll tell you, it only starts earlier every time you watch the movie. Like, it's just kind of like, their romance is given a whole new beauty on rewatch, you know? It was already great. It was already a very sweet story. But the fact that they met when they were so young, and he was serving her in the little pharmaceutical stand, you know, serving scoops of ice cream. Help me down, help you down. I thought, you know, like that stuff with Violet and him going all the way back. And that's another, you know, like that's another character that's underrated in the context of the movie is, you know, Violet is another incredibly human person. Like, there's very little about her that is, you know, again, outlandish. You've met Violet Bick. And, you know, the idea that she is, you know, the town quote unquote hussy who wants anybody who can provide for her and stuff like that. But ultimately, you know, she's just a person too. And I appreciate that, you know, George always treats her that way. He doesn't, you know, he never dismisses her on the grounds that, you know, she's as Mary says, you know, you like every boy.
Well, what's wrong with that? It's like a, it is a, and yeah, the only person he immediately ever has a problem with is Potter and his little gang or whoever is working with him, which is, it's just if the good is in you, I get, is all that he's after, and eventually comes to learn, I feel like, is that it is just through, his instinct, like the good instincts. Like he has, you know, he had plans to build skyscrapers and bridges and all these things, but you know, life kind of just his father passing, and like he's not gonna let that legacy fall into Potter's hands, so it was like kind of forced his hand a little bit, and like he just kind of gave too good of a speech in that boardroom, you know, a little bit. So it's like through his like, strengths,
this is the guy who ought to lead us.
So it's almost like that I think like he has always been capable. Like they even say like he was the smartest in the room, and that he just had this different his dad. I guess his dad does say like there's you've always had a talent, or you've always had this sort of thing, and like that moment. Oh my God, there's another like tear up there whenever. Like he's kind of initially like, oh damn, I didn't mean it like that, Pop, but you know, like I need to get out of this town and blah blah blah, and the dad like comes to realize it, and he's like, yeah, no, I always knew we got to send you to school and yada yada yada, and it's like he goes through so much, like we literally see him from child until all the way to the end of contemplating ending his life over a measly $8,000, you know, at the end of the day, and like to save a company to falling into just a guy that has so much money that he doesn't even know what to do with anymore, you know.
Right.
He's just trying to buy up everything. So it's like it is just greed, I don't know, money, that it is coming in the way of all these things, and it's so annoying, you know, is like that all you ever truly want at the end of life is, or I don't know, maybe me, or maybe not true for everyone, but just people around you that you love, and not to worry about food or shelter. You just want a place to live and be around the people you love, and then to, I don't know, to just have the very easy enemy of a capitalist man. I don't know what to. Bro is just a. Yeah, I don't know what his title. Like, what even is he to the town?
Yeah, no, businessman. That's all. Because he owns everything. He's just like, he doesn't do any work. He owns everything. That's all he does. Is that he has money. So it's always going to be a pain in the ass whenever that's one of the fucking, that's the villain we're rocking with is just a guy who owns everything. And a perfect antagonist though, portrayed really, really well by Lionel Barrymore, who is the grandfather of Drew Barrymore.
What is that name familiar?
Drew Barrymore is an incredible actress. You would have known her most recently for Us in E.T. She's the little girl.
Okay.
Yeah, the main little girl. And she's obviously grown up to be quite the, she has a talk show now. She was in Scream. That was a pretty big one. 50 First Dates. Yeah, been around the block. So yeah, very historic family, Drew Barrymore. Lionel Barrymore is also not the only ancestor, as it were, to have come up in Hollywood. But
yeah. So
really, really good portrayal of Potter there.
Like, so weird watching these movies like that are such a long time ago, and like all I'm hearing the whole time is a modern, like I'm hearing Gordon Cole's voice, like David Lynch in George Bailey,
right?
Like in it, connecting to like a now, and I swear, like even at some points he looked like David Lynch. Like I don't know if that's just me connecting it, but
no, it's not. Like, that was one of David Lynch's most common comparisons. He had this Jimmy Stewart look about him, and this Midwest boyish charm, like. And there's an argument to be had that, the voice itself does come from George Bailey and Jimmy Stewart at least a little bit, like there's that sort of vibe to it, no doubt. And obviously I mentioned the David Lynch masterclass a little bit ago. And obviously we'll connect anything we can back to David Lynch. But just that image of them at the end of the movie, whenever Mary comes back through the door and he runs downstairs to her with the kids around him and they all do that hug, and then it comes to him and he's got tears welling in his eyes and he just goes, incredible. Fucking guts me, dude. Fucking gets me. I love that shit. Yeah, I love when people love movies, and this is a really, really good, not litmus test for that. Everyone has their taste, everyone has whatever they want, but whenever you're able to let yourself be vulnerable at specifically an older movie like this. Now, obviously, for someone like David Lynch, it's a little different. He grew up, 10 years after this, in the 50s. So it's still even before him. But the, like I there are a few movies that I want to show my friends, my brothers, the people who haven't taken the leap past 1995, prior to that, the 1990s, and this is one of them where I'm like, I don't know how you could watch this and go, this is stupid because it's in black and white. It's difficult for me to comprehend, especially with the Christmassy flair. Like, it's so nostalgic and so warm and cozy. And I think that it feels like one that I could get away with. I'm going to try this year, I think, to get them to watch It's a Wonderful Life. Cause it's such a goodie. It's such a goodie.
It is kind of weird to come away from this movie and be like, it was whatever. I feel like you got to at least feel a little something, but But I mean, some people, there is like, I was in that zone of like, oh, it's black and white, or it is so old. It's like, it's going to be so out of date that I can't even, there was this barrier, which was so weird that I don't know why it was truly there. I just didn't think an old movie could be good for some reason. But then,
I also think that being an adult watching this is different than being younger and watching this also. Just being able to understand George Bailey, on a different level is, I don't, it definitely improves the movie, you know, like you can't really fathom it as a kid. If anything, as a kid, you kind of go, damn, what the fuck's this guy's problem? You know, you know, like grow up a little bit. No, but, you know, just that prospect, like, you know, I did go to school, like I went away to school for a semester, didn't pan out for me. I came home, you know, like I've been in Blue Springs, the town I grew up in, for my whole life, except for those couple months. And obviously I've traveled places, but you know, I've never lived anywhere else, not for any extended period of time. And that wasn't always the plan. You know, when I was younger, it was like, no, yeah, we're going to figure this out. I'm going to go this place. I'm going to go to that place. I'm going to go to this place. And, you know, obviously George doesn't even get the chance to travel, which is a whole other layer of devastating. But, yeah, no, it's just very real, you know, it's just very real. This prospect of not failed dreams, but dream shifting, you know, like, the context of your life ends up dictating what you deem possible, you know, and you could still have these aspirations like, well, one day I'm going to do this, one day I'm going to be doing this, and you should always have dreams, you should always have aspirations. But there's no question that they shift the older you get, into something else more practical, which is fascinating. That even our imaginations of, you know, even our goals become limited as adults compared to what they were when we were kids.
It's whenever his one of his Zaza maybe is sick upstairs. Zuzu, thank you. I'm like, no way, it's Za. Like, I'm like, that's a little too off. But whenever she's sick and she's like, no, just dream about it instead, and it'll become a field of flowers, you know, and like anything as a kid is like possible, or like there's no limits, there's no reality checks, there's no like, if I actually want to go to Italy and see the Colosseum, that's $1,000 for the plane ticket, then it's, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, so I have to save for this much and blah, blah. It's like there's all the adult kind of stops of that we have, the reality checks, which is kind of like to get in the way of your dreams. But as a kid, there really isn't those barriers.
No, they don't exist. You know, like we were talking with Megan at Friendsgiving just last week about the trip to Disney that she's planning, and how she's like she's only ever, like, for her and her daughter, she's only ever been the kid and never had to plan that trip, and now she's like, holy shit, you know, like, this is wild. Like, I've tried to plan a trip there for me and Emily, and I'm like, how the fuck did my parents do this for 5 of us? I'm like, we never had that. We never had it like that. This is insane.
Didn't think of it as a sacrifice before, but
the amount of money that they had to have set aside and gone, not, we're going to burn it on this, because it's not burning it. It's valuing it. It's valuing the happiness of your children and the, you know, the excitement that they get to, you know, like, I saw a video the other day that was really, really sweet. It was like this, I mean, very, very young child at Disney or at one of those parks, and he's running up to all the costumed characters and stuff. And it's like, the caption was like, why would you spend that money? He's not even going to remember it. And it's like, yeah, but I will. You know, like, I'll remember him running up to these little characters and being so excited about it and all, like, and, you know, so that's why I'm like, it's not about, but the amount of money they set aside just to do that. And I say just to do that like it's some small thing. Like, it is a big deal, and it was a big deal, and I value those memories so thoroughly, and that's what they paid for, you know, and that's so cool. I think that that's just something that to have any privilege at all to have experienced something like that is very, very special. And George, that's why, like, whenever you can't provide something like that, the way George Bailey doesn't have the means to, that's why it is so devastating. You know, whenever Zuzu gets sick, it's a reflection of his inability to provide her a proper coat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like my kids might not have the warmest clothes. They might not have the best clothes, whatever. But you allowed them to walk home half naked. Like, obviously he projects very heavily. But it's from that place of insecurity and his inability to give to his children what he wants to give.
Yeah. And it's so clear that, like, that's not his character whenever he's going off on the teacher, and, like, whenever he does come home and act different, like, it's very like, oh, well, this obviously isn't you, but it's not necessarily like it's obviously because of something in your, like, something must be going on, like this. Right. There's no way that this is you. This is your true, genuine feelings, and to have. Even the beginning of the movie is like, we want our dad back. Like, please. Like, it's even the kids, like, they
the kids
pray.
Praying that night.
Which is, oh man, it's like, it's nuts. And yet I have the opening of the movie too to pop up, and the first, I guess those are the actual angel, first class angels, I'm assuming, or I don't know, or they,
the
galaxies,
like, when it comes to, Joseph.
Yeah.
Mary, Mother, and Joseph, like, there's a little bit of, maybe Father of God sort of shit.
Okay.
But Mary is a literal character in the movie, and, there's definitely a few biblical reflections going on here, but,
yeah. And, but yeah, just a Joseph George, I think it's just
funny.
Having just a very common name and very, we were all named biblically from our parents, so I guess it does track. It does make sense. It's not like an uncommon occurrence, I feel like.
No, right, for both
yes.
names, it usually is kind of one or the other. But to have Joseph be sending help to George is funny.
Is there a Patrick in the movie? Did I miss a Patrick anywhere?
I don't think we caught a Patrick.
Don't think there is.
We caught a Patrick.
But yeah. So, but no, it was. I mean, I love the how whenever Clarence does come down, and he's just so very matter of fact. He's just I'm just. Clarence, whatever his last name was, I forgot. But
Oddbody.
Oddbody. Wow. Yeah. And
Clarence Oddbody.
243 years old, or and he's just plays so well, and then like it could have not. It could have all been in his head. It could have all actually whatever is actually going on. But like he does. Just kind of in back up at the bridge, and his lip is bleeding again, and he is found, and it is like he could have had this realization all within a couple seconds. It could have been drunk, whatever, but like no, it's I love how
that the movie starts being like, nah, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, we are sending an angel down to help George Bailey, so that, like, you don't have any of those at the end of the movie, any of that, like, oh man, was it real? Is it real? In the context of the movie, yeah, it's real. I like surrendering to it that way, and letting it speak for itself in that regard, I think is fun. There's I think that this sets forth, and it's hard to say whether or not this probably draws inspiration from A Christmas Carol pretty substantially, like Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, Ghost of Christmas, whatever. Probably Present would be the most apt comparison, whenever, the ghost takes Scrooge to the places that he's not at, and it shows him the way people act when he's not around. And like they're either in the context of that story, they're happier. And, they're like, well, fuck this guy, who cares? He's gone. Fuck him. Now in this version of the story, it's like everyone's worse off.
Yeah.
And I think that obviously creates a certain poignancy, but there's there's a lot of this has been taken as inspiration for countless stories. You know, I remember there's an episode of That 70s Show when Eric Foreman, you know, wishes that him and Donna had never gotten together, you know, after they break up for the first time in that show. He like, oh, I wish that me and Donna had never gotten together. And then someone shows up and goes, well, I'll show you what your life would be like if, you know, if you had never gotten together, you know, and then they do this whole alternate reality sequence. There's, you know, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is basically that premise blown up to infinity. It's the one from That 70s Show, not this, but it's blown up to the size of a feature film. But it's definitely served as the inspiration for countless stories, which is, I mean, how you know it's pretty foundational.
Yeah, and sadly, like the story is still timeless of the capitalist kind of greed communities having to come together just for this super small victory, you know, at the end of the day, like on the grand scheme of everything. But in their minds, it is like it was a massive leap, or it was it's not going to go down in any history book, or it's not going to go beyond them at all, but it is a moment that they all do share, and is like and now that was 46, but the same exact things could be applied to right now, and the mere fact of people owning their homes, you know, oh my gosh, these people are owning their lives, that's terrible. We need to take back the land that we once had, you know. They kind of paint it as like a virus spreading into their lands whenever it's the opposite, and it's but yeah, like the themes are just great. Like, and he is, like, George at the end of the day is just trying to do good. I think he is just kind of like, it is so like awesome that he is just a very normal man, and can be so vulnerable, a war hero, you know, so like he was even before the war. Like, I'm trying to, I didn't even pull up his filmography, or like, but like he was. You said like he was the man, or like even.
Well, he wasn't like, the man, but he was definitely he was a big deal. You know, he was in another movie by Frank Capra in 1939 called Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. One I haven't seen, but one I really, really desperately want to. He was in The Shop Around the Corner, which is another incredible Christmas feature. Like, I really want to watch that again this holiday season. It's on Max right now, if I'm not mistaken. It was coming to Max December 1st, so I was looking forward to that greatly. Probably might go ahead and throw that on here pretty soon after we're done. But most of the bulk of Jimmy Stewart's biggest roles do come after this. This is probably his This is his reemergence, as it were. You know, all those ones I said earlier, the Hitchcock collaborations, are all after this. The Man Who Knew Too Much, Vertigo, Rear Window, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance with John Ford, and was in the Fabelmans as the one that made Steven Spielberg kind of go, holy shit, I want to make movies. He was in The Greatest Show on Earth, which is the movie at the beginning of the Fabelmans that makes little Steven Spielberg go, holy shit, I think I want to make movies, you know?
Damn.
So, I mean, like, he had, and I think all of those are 1950 and after. So, he wasn't strictly the man yet. He would definitely become the man. But he was definitely a big deal. It wasn't like he was an unknown coming into It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. He does have a lot of titles like pre-war. Like he does seem to be doing pretty well. But then I mean, the Philadelphia Story was pre-war. The Philadelphia Story was 1940. So I mean, there's definitely. So I mean, okay, maybe he was the man. I don't know. I guess you know, because the big deal in that movie was it's Cary Grant, Jimmy Stewart, and Katharine Hepburn. Yeah. You know, it was like, these are three of the biggest names working. Come watch this fucking movie. So yeah, maybe he was a little bit more of that guy than I'm giving him credit for, but after this, he's definitely that guy. A clear 41 to 46 gap. He was very, you know, he doesn't really miss a year at all. And then it is just that gap. And then after that, he hits many per year, after the war. So yeah, it is like, He was very, very much working after the war, and yeah, it was.
What year is since you're looking at it? What year was Bell Book and Candle?
Bell Book
48.
Bell Book and Candle 58. Actually,
58. Okay, so yeah, much later. Okay. Yep, that tracks. That's why I'm like a lot of his biggest roles do come in the 50s, which is why him having a couple 1939 and then the Philadelphia Story 40, It's a Wonderful Life 46, like that's a long, fruitful career. And I mean, yeah, he's just a legend, an absolute legend. I love me some Jimmy Stewart. Oh, sorry, I got some really good news just now on the text thread. It's a snow day for us.
Hey,
no work tonight. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Fucking go.
Snow days are the best.
I know.
It's usually better when you find out the night before so that you know the whole day, but there is something special about finding out in the day. You already prepared to go, but then you're like, oh, now I don't. Yes, that is.
Now I don't. Yeah, I'm like, it's the closest I've gotten to feeling like I watched the news 6 a.m. before elementary school.
Yes.
Looking at the bottom of the screen, waiting to see Blue Springs, RIV.
Yes.
I'm just like, come on. It scrolls all the way through like 6 times. I'm like, there's still a chance, baby. And then it pops up at the beginning, the next one. And I'm like, let's fucking go. I'm not going anywhere.
And it has begun to snow here as well. It has hit Raleigh. It's good. It's made its way, so it's feeling good.
Speaking of it beginning to snow, at the end, whenever he is at the bridge and it goes from not being snowy to snowing again, and that's the first hint that he's back in reality. Ooh.
Yeah. His lip bleeding again, is it?
From an old friend.
I love the fake snow. I mean, they are just just caking. I mean, there's so much, I don't know, very thick snow. And yeah, just in black and white, it just looks so clean. I don't know why.
I've got a DVD of It's a Wonderful Life, and one of them is the original black and white feature with special features. And then the other disc is a colorized version of the film, and I'm curious to kind of check it out. I'd have to look into how that was done. I'm assuming it's, the same way that film used to be dyed and everything, like it's, I'm sure there's, they obviously shot it in black and white, and then they had to color the film after the fact. So I'll have to look into how that was done, but if I watch it again this holiday season, it'll probably be the colorized version of the movie just to give it a little bit of a new flair. That might be the version of it I showed to my family. Wait a second. There we go. I found an in. This one's not black and white. The barrier's a little bit
less.
Yeah.
Wait, I feel like they're, like, I watched it on Prime, and I think there were parts of it that were in color.
No kidding.
Yeah, because whenever he's a kid, young Georgie, and whenever he's working, that's in color, because I remember the difference between Mary's dress and Violet's dress. It was a blue and a pink.
I did not know that.
The phone call, whenever I think even. Yeah, it's like there's certain parts that are in color.
And that scene with Donna Reed and Jimmy Stewart is just so fucking good.
Man.
And egregiously hot. Like the fact that you're getting away with making a moment like that. Like I love that they, in a lot of old film, the way that they depict intimacy is often like because they didn't do sex scenes.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be sex scenes.
Yes,
basically. So whenever they're on the phone, like face to face with one another, and then they just go, Mary, like that whole thing, like it's like basically sex. But obviously they are not having sex. I love when scenes are done that way. There's one in The Big Sleep. That's a Howard Hawks, Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall movie. There is one in The Bear. Thank you, baby. In The Big Sleep, there's the scene when Humphrey Bogart goes to like a library to check out a book, or he's like spying on somebody across the street because he's playing a private detective. So he's like just holding up, looking out the window and stuff. And the librarian wants him bad, wants him bad. And so it's just like it's one of the hottest scenes ever, but it's just two people talking. And I love that actors used to do shit like that. And they still do. That's not unbeknownst to man, now, but, yeah, it used to be a lot more common because that was how they used to do love scenes, was just talking and kissing.
And to mash your face against the other. Like, I love the face touch, like the cheek, the amount of pressure that they are putting against each other's face, is like I don't know. Their chemistry was very nice. And yeah, I love, like, good on Mary. She did not complain a singular time. She was just
the only time she ever did was whenever he came home acting a fucking ass.
True.
Whenever she was
hey,
why must you torture the children? And she lets him go for a while before she says that.
Yeah, that's true. Like, kind of like, dang, is this really even happening? Like, right now is kind of it was, oh yeah, no, I guess the robe in the bush, Georgie, you could have, I don't know, you might have played, you took advantage a little bit too much there.
He did. I mean, and I,
but
it was ultimately playful, but there is a line, and he doesn't cross it, which is good, but had his dad not had a stroke, who knows if he would have.
And he does immediately throw it back. Like, the second it's like something else.
The second somebody pulls up, it's not even just like, oh, I heard this about my dad, here's your robe. No, someone arrives and he's like, here's your robe. It's like, so it was always going to be private, and which I do also appreciate. But that scene's funny too, whenever she's like shaking the bush. And he's like talking to it. That's incredible. The old house that they end up living in, and that's where they did their honeymoon, and like it's. I love how it's just about making do in a way, like playing with the cards you're dealt and making the most of it. About halfway through the movie, you get that line from Joseph, the narrator, going, I bet you can tell by now that George never leaves Bedford Falls. And Clarence going, no. It's like, yes, it's just the way things go sometimes. And I love it, dude. I'm just a sucker for it. It moves me so deeply. Like I said, I was just crying like a motherfucker watching this last night. And, it works for me. It works for me on every level.
It always makes me wonder, like, you take money out of the equation completely and you just allow people to fulfill their dreams, without just the hurdle of money. It does seem it's a very common dream to just, you want to see the world, you want to travel, you want to, but then to, I don't know, maybe this is the engineer brain in me, but like to do something with knowledge or with whatever you're good at, like to be able to turn into something for the world, and maybe that is just the guy that wants to provide or Emmy, but it does feel like a true base kind of, just to give to the next generation, even is kind of like, not even for me now or the world now, it is like so that it is easier upon the people after me to do what they want to do, is I think where the root is, and to just have a character that is purely just acting on good, like he might as well just kind of be Superman in the way that it is like he's just kind of naively just going off of what feels right, or like what is kind of the obvious like good thing to do. And
one of my favorite little parts of the movie that depicts just how good of a guy he is when he lets Uncle Billy have it. Uncle Billy, loses the $8,000 and he yells at him and he's like, well, somebody's going to prison for this and it's not going to be me, and then he goes to Potter and it's like, I lost $8,000.
Yep.
And Potter knows that's not true. Potter knows for a fact and he goes, you lost $8,000. And he goes, yep, I did. I love that while he lets Billy have it, he's like, I'm not gonna do that to Billy, even though he's well within his rights to do that to Billy. Like, it's not like it's not some massive betrayal if he does it to Billy, because it really was Billy who did it. It's not like it was like Billy was covering for him and he's all of a sudden owning up. No, like, Billy did that. It wouldn't be immoral for him to hold that against Billy. But he doesn't, and that makes him an even better guy.
Yeah.
And I love that, like you said, like he's just dictated by what's good, what's right. And you asked a little bit ago, you know, is that me? Is that the man in me who wants to provide, and all that stuff? And I don't think that's the case. I think it's whenever you're younger, and even when you're older to a degree, one of the base levels of common goal. You'll hear everybody say this probably at some point in their life. I want to change the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what George wanted to do. You know, like George wanted to make things better. He wanted to build bridges. He wanted to build hospitals. He wanted to build things. He wanted to do, and I love that the movie makes the case that, I mean, a common case that you hear all the time, which is that if you change worlds around you, you've changed the world. You know, like, one of the prayers at the beginning of the movie isn't his kid. You know, one of the prayers at the beginning of the movie is a grown person.
Yeah.
Is a grown man going, I wouldn't be where I am without George Bailey. God help him. You know, like, you know, and it's not just his kids. There are more than 3 prayers, and only 3 of them are his kids praying.
Oh man. Yeah, just what a man, it's just pulling on all the good strings. Is like
it is, dude. It is.
And like he like very much seen, like I love that it is the opposite of, you know, with remove yourself from the situation, people don't get happier. Like it is like, oh no, your brother did drown in that ice. That train of people, or you know, truckload of people did die, it is like this massive butterfly.
Your brother
effect.
Wasn't there to save them, you know,
yes.
like and then putting that into context for George, which is like not saying you did that. But like you put your brother in a position where he could, like your brother's getting the Congressional Medal of Honor, but you saved the guy who's getting a Congressional Medal of Honor. You know what I'm saying? Like you did that, you know, and I think that I love whenever that happens at the beginning of the movie and they're like, this will be important later. Like the narrator literally says, remember this.
Yes.
It's good.
Very, very good. Yeah. But I love how it is like social wealth is the true wealth. That it isn't how much actual monetary money
brother,
you have.
The richest man in town. God damn, I love it because it is. He's talking about the love in the room. He's not talking about the money that was all just laid at his feet. He's talking about how all these people came together to do this for you. Even Sam from Europe was like, "Hey, Mary said you need help. I got you." Ordered my office $25,000.
Damn. I mean, maybe he is the richest man at the time. Actually, you know, maybe he did.
He might be. But hey, dog, I love my boy George. Good man. I have a tough time wrapping my head around why he denied getting in on the ground floor of plastics. But hey, what do I know?
Because it's oil. It's petroleum. It's bad. It's evil. It is, you know, it's polluting the world more. He knew. He knew the bad that would become. But no, yeah, he could have, because Potter offers him $20K, you know, a year, and you know, that doesn't sound like you can make.
It's crazy how much money's changed. You know, I make more than $20,000 a year, and it's just not enough.
Fuck. Yes, it's like, damn. Well, I wish $20K would be. You could live in the nicest house in the neighborhood and be very, very comfortable. It's like what? But yeah, but even. It doesn't matter at the end. Like they do take the most broken down house that there is, and it is more of what is happening and not the actual house itself. I love how George even breaks it down as like, is it so bad just to give people like a comfortable bedroom and a bathroom? You're like, he just breaks a house down.
A place to sleep, a place to sleep, a place to sleep, a place to eat, you know, like a place to live and raise your kids. Like it's, I love that this movie has that philosophy again in 1946, like this idea of basic amenities, you know, that should be universal. And it's like, is it such a bad thing that I want to provide that for people who couldn't otherwise get it? You know, they came to you, they couldn't get the loan, so they come to me and I do everything I can to make it happen for them. Because again, like they make the case to Potter at some point, you know, you can't take it with you.
Yeah.
You know, you have the money, you have the means. Whenever they come to him trying to pull their investment, and he's like, I don't have your money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not liquid.
Yeah.
Your money's in his house. His money's in her house. You know, like you guys, when you came to me, what you did was invest in each other. You invested in yourselves and in this community. That was what I wanted to do. And that's what you agreed to when you signed this contract. You know, he's not like fucking them or anything. He's just like, this is the situation at hand. And even though everyone wants to break contract, he's like, okay, you know, here's money straight out of my pocket then.
Yeah.
This is money that was going to put me on my honeymoon. That was going to give me a break. I was literally on my way out of town when this happened.
Dang. Yeah. Yes, it's the town, the need to help out is like, but it feels so good to help.
No, it's right.
You know, it is like just to help someone. It feels good to do good on your own. The narrator even says
at the beginning he never did anything for himself, and that's why he's in the position he's in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that's literally word for word what Joseph says at the top of the movie is like, well, we got a call this morning, basically, like about a George Bailey. He never did a thing for himself, and that's why we find him in the predicament he's in.
It's sad that, like, to this type of character, or just to, even in real life, like, just to be good or to act on good and to do good is like, it feels like a full-time job, or it feels like you're swimming against the current of the rest of the world, you know. And it's like that, and it's not that everyone else is bad or evil. It is just like, that's the world the structure of the world we live in, that it is the regular life is so demanding, and we are so owned in a way by the people above us, that we're just paying, you know, paycheck to paycheck, just trying to have simple things, you know, not even being able to save up or to travel or to do anything, and that to just want to go beyond that feels impossible, or like just to go, you know, wherever you want to see in the world, but then you start to make that, you know, the steps to take there, and then the plane ticket alone is like, well, nope, that's kind of impossible right now. We'll push that off another year, and it's like, yeah, it's like to have grand dreams, you know, maybe that's like the true kind of realization, is that as long as you're still acting on those good instincts, it doesn't matter the scale of the impact, you know. Like, he wanted to build a whole city or build skyscrapers and everything, but like he's having the same effect on
like it is community, like that's
so
that's real. I love it, dude. And you know, like all these other people across the town he had that impact on. Like, Martini owns this business now because George was able to put him in a position where he could prosper, and you know, like it's just it hits the spot. I love it. I do. And you know, good little philosophy to live by. What would George Bailey do?
Yeah. Yeah. Good old George Bailey. Yeah, definitely all-time character added to the list. An all-time movie added to the list. A classic and a one that I can't believe it did take this long to get around. But
this was only the second time I've ever watched it. I watched it for the first time literally a year ago today as of recording.
Oh, wow. There we go. December 1st?
Yeah, lined up uncannily. Yeah. I was like, oh, no shit. Okay, cool. Checked Letterboxd after I logged it again. I was like, when did I watch this last year? Yep, literally a year ago today.
Right after all the Thanksgiving shenanigans died down, and it's like, all right, time for winter, time for the goodies. Of the
and I love that it is a Christmas movie, but it's not for a while. You know, like it's not until that last back half probably that we actually. It's crazy how much happens in like an hour and 13 minutes that covers like most of his life, and then the last hour is legitimately one day.
Dang, it is just the day. Wow, yeah, it is.
Like, yeah, like it's an incredible way to pace the film for it to feel so natural that way. like to have managed having such a wild, erratic pace in that regard, where again, you start with him as a child, he grows to about 18, you jump ahead to him being like 22, 23, 24, you jump again to him being 29, you jump to him being late 30s, and then you jump to, you jump to him being a grown man with kids and all that, and then we stop there and we live one day in his life. And that's like almost half the movie. It's insane that it feels as well paced as it does when that is how it's laid out.
Damn, what a day. I mean, he just loses his company or goes bankrupt, or is more than bankrupt, I guess. Someone's going to jail. He knows this, goes back home, blows up on his family, goes to drink, and then almost kills himself. Then finally realizes the joys in life, and like, yeah, it's like, oh man, that moment of just like his car even crashed into the tree. He's just so happy that it's there, or like he's so everything in the world is better.
Well, and I love that this predates drunk driving laws by like a lot.
Yes, it's like
so.
Yeah, wow.
This was just like something people did.
Yeah.
People
What
just
the
did this,
fuck?
and that's why they're like, "Hey, you hit my tree! What the fuck?" And that's just that.
Jeez. Yeah.
I don't know. Like
That's a wild
he just
thought.
gets out of his car like a
wasn't
really,
even
really
illegal.
good guy. Like George Bailey is an exceptionally good man, and what he did when he got fucking hammered was get behind the wheel of a car and drive away. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something an exceptionally good guy does now. You know.
Maybe it is, like, I wonder if it was just cars just couldn't go fast enough to truly do bad damage. Like like he did crash into a tree, but like it is like, well, those things only go, I guess, 20, 30 miles an hour. So it's like, maybe, is it just that the danger wasn't quite there yet and not enough people were truly dying to make it illegal? And like,
look out pedestrians, but if you're in another vehicle, you're fine.
That's true. I guess, yeah, people on the road, that's a different story. But man, that's a weird, just that it wasn't illegal off the rip, that it was.
No, I mean, like, it's crazy how recently it was like not illegal. And I mean, like, it's been a long time, but probably within the last 40 years, I want to say it was the 80s.
Oh, let's see. 84 minimum. Oh, that's the minimum drinking age act, I guess, which raised it to 21.
Okay. New York did pass the first law in 1910. Okay, my bad.
But I mean, yeah, what the first car is, I mean, Model.
Okay, it wasn't officially outlawed. It wasn't officially outlawed in every state until 1988. So like
some states were like, fuck it, we got to hold on to this. We got to let our people ride.
Like, it was,
wow.
We got to give our people the freedom to kill each other if they want to, you know.
Damn. Yeah, but yeah, it was never hard, you know. It wasn't like, oh, you drunk drove, you're a terrible person. It was just like, no, you hit the tree. No, it's just like, that was the bad thing.
Yep.
It's like,
he drunk drove, and that's that.
Mm-hmm.
He drove drunk, and then he thought about killing himself.
Dang. Yeah, I love Time Capsule. You know, that doesn't happen.
Like another thing that makes me cry in this movie, and I forget that is when Clarence jumps in the water. He doesn't take a second.
Yes,
you know, it's no brainer. It's like, I'm jumping in and I'm helping that guy. Like, and I'm always a sucker for normal people helping people in like any movie. You know, like whenever stuff's popping off and everyone's running one direction and then just somebody runs the direction towards the danger to help people. That's something that always gets me. And this is a really good example of that. He was thinking about ending it the exact way that this guy is perceivably thinking about ending it. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go help that guy. Cause, what else am I going to do? It's the obvious thing to do. And I love that it's just second nature for George. He's just a good man.
Yeah, and this, yeah, could not have been a better way to start off the wintry months. You know, it was already cozy with Mr. Fox. You know, it doesn't get cozier than that. And then to actually call this movie cozy, you know, there are the ideas of suicide. It is right there, but no, like the ending it makes it all the worth it. And it is like, yeah, it got to be on the rotation now. Every year. And but yeah, this an all-timer. Loved. I don't know, there's not many bad things about it. I thought it was hilarious that in the trivia, the people of the Times, they had a problem that Potter was not punished for the $8,000 that he took. And I guess even Frank Capra got hate mail because of this, that he was never... that this never came back around, and it even says that it's very weird for this to be in film. Like, yeah, what a very strange. Like, the only bad thing is that, oh man, the evil man wasn't punished because of the $8,000, and it's like that's a weird.
Well, it's funny. That's not the only money he steals in the movie, and that's kind of the point. Yeah. You know, like it's the fact that this is the most literal version of what he does on a small scale. You know, like he takes money from people who can't afford to lose money, and then he ousts them. That's like, you know, he would evict a family who can't afford to pay their mortgage. He would, you know, he would kick somebody out of their home if it meant they couldn't pay him. And right here, he's like, oh man, you're going to go to jail. You're going to lose your, you're going to lose your business. You're going to lose everything. Your family's going to go without a father. I'm going to hold on to this $8,000. You know, like that's as literal a depiction of what happens to Pot, and like him not going punished is 100% purposeful, by the way. It's so funny that,
plays for the movie well. I guess there was a actual legal hurdle at the time, because in 45 the Motion Picture Association of America required that any criminal must be shown to either be punished or made to repent at the end of every film, which I mean that's nuts that they had it in law that a movie like you must show the bad guys get got. That's nuts. But Frank Capra was like, fuck no. Fuck the law, stupid rule. I'm making my movie however I want. At least what I want to believe. But wow, that's crazy that there was a legal requirement for movies at the time. Yeah, Will H. Hayes, I guess, was responsible for this.
Yeah, the Hayes Code.
Hayes, yeah, wow. Which that's wild.
Yeah, it's the Hayes Code was a really, really massive moment in film history, and we're towing the line on getting kind of back into that sort of thing. It was it limited depictions of sex and limited depictions of love and stuff, and that's why, you know, as we re-enter sort of a conservative, prudish view of sex, especially in movies. Like I saw people talking about Christmas Vacation the other day. Have you watched Christmas Vacation?
I mean, when I was young, so I don't remember really what to actually take away.
Regardless,
from the movie,
there's a scene in the movie that, I mean, like, hasn't aged super well, but there's a lot worse in movies. He's the main character, played by Chevy Chase, who is a piece of shit, undoubtedly. The main character played by him, Clark Griswold, the plot of the movie is that he's expecting a Christmas bonus, and when he gets that bonus, he's going to put in a pool. Like that's the goal of the movie. That's what he wants. And at one point during the movie, he is looking out his back door and he fantasizes about having the pool and everything, and it's his family playing around and everything, and then his family disappears, and like this exceptionally beautiful woman that he met at a mall earlier in the movie shows up, and he doesn't have a sexual fantasy about her, but he like sees her, you know, like jump in the pool. She like strips down and jumps in the pool naked. You never see anything, by the way. You watch her jump in the pool, and then as she's getting out of the pool, when they would show you something, he snaps out of his reverie, and that's that.
Okay.
And I saw a bunch of people on TikTok commenting about how this is so stupid to have in the movie, and how they need to make a movie of this. They need to make a version of this movie that this scene isn't in it. And I'm like, are you a fucking child? I'm like, are you a baby? Are you an actual fucking baby? Like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's okay to have an opinion or a critique about things that have aged poorly. That's fine. But for you to be on the grounds of like, I can't watch this with my family. You don't even see her breasts. You don't see anything. What's your fucking deal? Are you 5? I'm like, I don't know. It bothers me that people take an aspect of life, which is unquestionably a massive part of life, in sex and love, and go, ugh, can't see it, don't want to, don't have any, like, I don't know. And like, I get it if it's like, oh yeah, I'd prefer not to watch sex scenes with my family. But that's not what's happening in that movie at that time. So that's why it was confusing to me. I even posted about it on Blue Sky. I'm okay. You can have whatever take you want, but when it comes to like prudishness as it pertains to movies, there's a time and a place, of course, but you're watching a movie from 1987 where they don't even show you nipple, dude. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about how you can't watch this with family? I don't know. Grow the fuck up.
Like if they went the extra step and then like they actually realized and actually were fucking on screen in the pool and like that complaint, in a family movie, then I see it. But like the fact that it was like actually just the thought alone, and like nothing.
Well, then there were a bunch of people also taking moral issue with the fact that this man in the movie was having a fantasy about another woman when he's married to Beverly D'Angelo in the film and stuff. And it's like, all right, like, I don't know what to tell you, dog. Like,
isn't that kind of the point of marriage, is like realizing that you can or like have these thoughts about anyone else in the world, but you still choose to only.
You literally don't. Yeah, like you literally don't do it.
Like the thoughts are there, but you say no at the end of the day.
I mean, that's why I'm like, you're a fucking child. Like you have no concept of what real life is. If you think that no good married man ever has had a fantasy about another person. Period. Like it's just. It's the fact that they don't act on it that makes it a choice to be married.
Hard-coded into your brain, actually. It's like literally, it's unavoidable. I believe, like it is just it's just a fact. I don't know.
Now, obviously, I'm not going to be like, "Hey, wife, I'd like to have sex with that woman.
Mm-hmm.
Is that cool? Is it cool that I'm thinking about these things? No. You think it, you let it go. Goodbye. That's it." And that's exactly what happens in the fucking movie. So that's why I'm like, that's why all that to say, we're reverting back to this conservatism and this prudishness in our perspective on film societally. And it's really alarming that something like the Hays Code could feasibly, especially with the present, FCC and the present administration, isn't exactly, far-fetched. That something like that could reemerge as laws for our movies. Now, I think that there would be massive protestation if that did happen by people in Hollywood. Like, I think we would see an overwhelming amount of refusal of that. And from probably mostly smaller studios, independent films, and all, and that sort of thing. When it comes to like Disney, they'd abide by it. There's no doubt, because they already basically do.
But that's
because it's a different kind of movie. They're making family movies. It's like it is what it is. But like there used to be movies that were not family movies that had to abide by like family movie standards. And that's awful. But it is what it is. That's why like I appreciate filmmakers who are willing to lay it out on the line, to show you what's right and what's wrong, and put it so simply, the way Frank Capra did here. It's a Wonderful Life is an incredible movie, and I'll love it forever.
Yeah, and I'm there. Yes, this is couldn't have been better. Had no idea we'd go here or go the places here. Have the community coming together, man. Just filling a $15,000 life insurance policy to save his family. But no, all of it being said, it was very, very cozy. First movie back in the apartment, I guess, after all Thanksgiving. So finally got the big TV back, which was nice. Felt extra cozy. Even the Christmas trees up. All the pumpkins are gone. The little mini pumpkins I had. So it
was my first fully decked out Christmas movie too. Watched a couple yesterday as we were deep cleaning the room and getting ready to decorate, or we had them on in the background. I hit the Guardians of the Galaxy special. It's always one of my first ones. Ooh. It's easy, 45 minutes, snippy, get it in, get it out. Love that. And then Home Alone played in the background while we cleaned for a while. Which I'm excited to discuss that next week. We'll have Home Alone and Home Alone 2 next week, kind of in a compare and contrast versus format, decide which one we officially like more and all that good stuff, because there's no point in covering those in separate weeks. They are essentially the same movie. So we'll kind of touch on both of them next week, Home Alone and Home Alone 2. The week after that, we're heading to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Maybe could see us doing a similar format as the Home Alone ones. There's a couple versions of that movie. Obviously the original 25-minute short, which is incredible. And the fact that it's only 25 minutes blows me away every time. I'm like, I feel like that was a fucking marathon when I was a kid. Now it's like an episode of TV, which is wild. And then obviously the Jim Carrey, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And there was a Benedict Cumberbatch animated one just a few years back. You know, maybe we find a way to mix that in. I don't know. All the Grinches. And then we will top off the month on Christmas with A Christmas Story, throwing it back one more time. Very, very excited for that. So that's the slate this month on The Cinementalists. We've also got Fire Pod with Me, a Twin Peaks podcast, which is hitting the ground running in December. We started with The Return Part 9 this past Monday. Next week will be The Return Part 10. After that, 11, 12, and 13 will be hit this month. So a lot of episodes coming out in the month of December for Fire Pod with Me, a Twin Peaks podcast. If you're a Twin Peaks fan, it's the podcast for you. If you have never seen it, it's the podcast for you. You do, of course, have to have watched up to wherever we are at, but I'm rewatching it and Joseph is watching it for the first time. So wherever we're at, whatever episode you listen to, you have to have seen up to that point, but nothing after that will be spoiled. Because, like I said, Joseph's never seen it. So it's a wonderful format there. Here in a couple weeks, The Force Awakens celebrates its 10-year anniversary of being out, existing, changing my life. The Star Wars The Force Awakens, big deal for me as a 20-something Star Wars fan. Kind of reinvigorated my passions when I was 15, and very, very excited to give that a live comm and maybe a little bit of a 10th birthday celebration, as it were. Very, very excited for that. That'll be coming on Geek With Me, our nerd shit podcast. So we got a lot to look forward to, and you should stick with us wherever you might be listening. 5-star rate and review, download wherever you're listening. We would appreciate it greatly. But yeah, like I said, we'll be back next week. Let's rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10. How are we feeling about It's a Wonderful Life?
Well, shit. I mean, we're hitting a lot of.
That's a 10.
We're hitting a lot of classics. So I mean, we are loving critics, but it's we're hitting some all times here. So yeah, back to back, I guess, from fantastic to here. But yeah, easy rating, I think, this week. But yeah, no. All time.
Couple of tens on the Sentimental Amita. That's a big one. A couple of tens. We love those. We love those. And I'll say, I think it might be the only 10 this month.
Yeah. I mean, I do love Home Alone, but I don't think they're not 10s.
They're not 10s.
They're not 10s.
And How the Grinch Stole Christmas, no, definitely not 10. And A Christmas Story, I'm excited to watch that with new eyes, with analytical eyes. I've only ever watched it in a situation where I'm like, gosh, I have to be watching A Christmas Story right now because my dad's making me watch A Christmas Story right now. So I'm excited to watch it because I want to watch it. But we'll see about that one. That's the one that I'm like, yeah, I guess I could see it getting close. I don't think it will, but I think It's a Wonderful Life might be our peak in December as far as the ratings are concerned. But what I know for a fact is that we love the movies we're discussing, and I can't wait to talk about them. I'm so very excited. I can't believe the year's almost over, man. It's wild to think about it in that context. We got a lot to look forward to, but fucking A, man. I turned 26 in like a month. The
insurance becomes my own.
Healthcare.
Fuck. Yes, I know.
It's bad. It's bad. And it's really bad out there. So good luck with that, everybody. Let's see. I think with that we can conclude this episode of The Cinementalists. I was Colton Robertson, and I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.